What's going on? Welcome to the Dirty Folks podcast. I'm Dirty Folks. Man, all this latent vitriol for whatever, for Trump, from the liberals, this antipathy that black males are starting to have for the Democratic Party, which is really just the feminist party, to be honest. Look at everybody who's in control of the Democrat Party. It's nothing but a bunch of feminists who want to criminalize everything men do. From Nancy Pelosi to Hillary Clinton still having all the effects on the DNC, all that. Running a Huff Post. So if you get your news from the Griot, from Huffington Post, or from the Root, Hillary Clinton telling you what to think. Um, and it came to me that when blacks talk politics, they don't talk politics. They talk about social services. They talk about activism. They talk about reparations. They talk about entitlement programs. They talk about evening out the playing field, which is something that people only say when they at the bottom. Nobody at the top's going to be even with the people at the bottom. And I'm like, yo, I don't think they really understand how politics works because they don't understand how power works. They think money is power, but money is not power. Power is power because if you have money and I get you, I rob you, now you powerless. If you thought all you were about was money, so these are the things that people don't understand about. Um, the blacks in particular don't understand about politics that they should. Number one, 4 steps. It's just 4 simple steps. Number one, politics is the business of business. It's not the business of anything else. There are other things that come along with politics, which are uh, human interest things like potholes and schools, but even schools is just for indoctrination purposes. Politics is the business of business. How I ended up getting into politics and how I got frustrated with Chicago politics is the same thing. Once upon a time, this is a true story. I'm gonna make it quick because I want to get to part two. But no, once upon a time, I used to do books. I never wanted to sell books. I don't want to sell anything. I want to manufacture and distribute. I don't want to sell anything. I hate sales because I don't really like to hear 99 no's for one yes. So I said, yo, how can I maximize my shit? I went to the Chicago. I went to the Cook County Jail. Cook County Jail has 10,000 people in it at any time. I said, if I can get 10% of prisoners who want to come out they cell for a book club, then I'll move 1,000 books a month. Start a book club at $20 a book. That's $20,000 a month. That's pretty good money just to go into somebody's jail and say, yo, did you like this book? I'm writing the books. I'm publishing the books. I'm printing the books. Man, it's a good deal for me. I called the county jail. The county jail told me, they said it's a great idea. All we need you to do is get 2 endorsements. You need to be endorsed by a pastor and a politician. I said, cool. I found a pastor. He said, cool. I went to my local alderman and said, and I'll give you a name. My name was Latasha Thomas. Fuck up. Anyway, I was said, man, check this out. You have the most prisoners, the highest crime rate in your area. Most of the males in your area are in jail. Would you just endorse me? Just sign this sheet of paper so I can sell books in the jail. Basically, the bitch told me to get it off the roof. And I said, man, I'm gonna make it my purpose, my life's work to get you out of office. Because man, can't no dyke chick petty match my petty. So I got ingratiated in politics. And when I got ingratiated in politics, I realized that nobody else was talking business. So when you talk national politics, because that's we'll get to that. But when you talk national politics, y'all talk about the Koch brothers, y'all talk about the Walton family that owns Walmart, how they buying politicians off. Yes, they are, because politics are the business of business. The PAC money is the business of business. The lobbyists are the business of business. How you get the contracts for your business is the business of business. Who gets the contract is very much business. How they fund your schools are very much business because schools are only a real estate deal. They are not an education deal. You can homeschool, you can charter school, you can Christian school. The only thing that makes it valid is, are you paying taxes on the building, or is the municipality paying taxes on the building that your school is going to? So even education is the business of business. So that's one. I'm not going to elaborate on that too much. Number two is all politics are local. That's very important. It doesn't matter what Donald Trump does or any other president. All politics are local. If you live in a larger city, you have aldermen. If you have a smaller city, you have committeemen. Um, Townships have township supervisors. What goes on in your 4 block radius is more important to you than anything that happens in DC. So you need to know your local politician. As a matter of fact, your local politician is not even supposed to be elected if you don't know who they are, because they have to live in your community. And most people don't. They can't name their alderman, but they know every president. Um, so if all politics are local, then that means that you should be able to own businesses in your community. It shouldn't be a bunch of Korean owned liquor stores and Arab owned gas stations and Chinese owned restaurants in your community if all politics are local and politics is the business of business. So the sellouts are really your local community representative. It's not the president. Um, the next thing that blacks don't understand is 7 year plans. Everybody that's in business understands 3 months, 6 month, 1 year, 5 year, 7 year plans. You have to take the classes. You have to have you have to get that to get a bank loan. How can you make sure you pay us back in 7 years? Because after 7 years, the 7 years is a very important number because after 7 years, everything is absolved off your credit. So they need to get the money or at least get you paying the money within 7 years to make sure that you're legally on the hook for the money. That's how you get the loans. That's how you get the contracts. The same thing applies with politics. One of the things that pisses me off to no end is that blacks have been marching for 65 years because they refuse to make a 7 year plan. Annoys the shit out of me. The second thing that annoys me is blacks don't like the smart kid, so they won't listen to somebody with a 7 year plan. They want something very immediate. But let blacks do what they do, let men do what they do. Man before you anything. In order to procure a 7 year plan, what you're supposed to do, what everyone else does, is you have a farm system. Baseball has a farm system. They take them straight out of high school, put them in AAA. You go from AAA to or single A to double A to AAA to the pros. It's a farm system. NBA has a farm system. AAU ball. They grab the kids from eighth grade. All the kids who are on the pros now play AAU ball with themselves around the country since eighth grade. It's a farm system, very much so. And it's the business of business because sponsors come in, boosters come in, all that. But it's a farm system. In 2014, I told people, I said by the 2018 election, we'll have a farm system. We'll take over the city. It doesn't matter who the mayor is. We'll take over the city. I'll get to that in part four. But we started cuffing kids 11, 12 years old and put them on a 7 year plan. Because if you're 11 years old when I cuff you in 2014, you'll never be more popular than you are at 18 years old. And you can run for office at 18 years old. And I don't care what city you in, but especially in Chicago, people are getting elected for less than 15, 1,600 votes. That's your graduating class. You know 8 years of people by the time you're a senior in high school, the people that were seniors when you were a freshman and people that freshmen when you were a senior. That's 8 years worth of people that you know in the 4 years you were in high school. You can get your classmates to vote for you for alderman and you'll have a slot. It doesn't matter. But it's controlled by the businessmen in that area that's telling that young soldier how to operate in accordance to what's best for their community. But it takes 7 years to do that. Who has 7 years of patience? I quit. I ain't gonna lie to you. 2014, I had them boys. 2015, some son of a single mother shot me. I was like, fuck these kids. But I'll try again in Oklahoma. And the fourth thing you have to do is control the boardroom, which goes back to number three, your farm system. So if you have, like in Chicago, we have 50 aldermen and a mayor. The mayor can only move if she has the majority vote of the aldermen. The same thing with the president, the Senate or the House of Representatives can veto them at any time. You know what I'm saying? Can override them at any time. They don't, but they can. And In Chicago, you can override your mayor at any time. They don't, but they can. But they don't because the business owners don't support the aldermen. So the aldermen are getting spoon fed by the businesses that run to the mayor. So if you feeding your alderman, you ain't got to worry about what the mayor said because what the mayor said ain't shit. Every If I had business to go on in my community, every month I would have $100 for my alderman. Every month, at least every quarter I had 250. You know what I'm saying? Just on some, my man's put this in your pack. Let's go to lunch, just so you remember me. So when I ask you for that favor come in. People don't do that because business owners aren't ingratiated with the political community because the political community is bullshit. But anyway, so if you control a board, so let's say, man, got a boys club, boom, you you um you syndicate your boys club, you duplicate your boys club in 26 wards. Now you have 26 aldermen that's running for you, 18 years old. It's like, yo, what you want us to do, big homie? Yo, do what you're gonna do on what you're gonna do, but on the major votes, come report back to the tribunal, which will be a tribunal of business owners from those various communities. And then they'll say, yo, this is how we need you to vote on this particular thing. So they can do a filibuster on anything the mayor want to do. The mayor be mad as fuck. They did the same thing. They do it when it's a black man. I remember I was little, but I remember the council wars when Mayor Harold Washington was in office. When Harold Washington was there, Ed Badoliak and all them boys had a filibuster. They called it the council wars. Google it. It was ill. It was like the most gangster shit ever. All those Lithuanian and Polish boys was like, yo, we ain't passing nothing for this black dude. Y'all think they did it to Obama. Man, it's way calmer now. You should have seen how they played Harold Washington. So they did it without any provocation. Nobody had to tell them to do it. They knew what to do because they were grown for the position. If you want safer streets, if you want safer streets, you change custody laws. To be honest, you get kids to their dad. You have safer streets. But anyway, I'm not gonna go there. That's another video. But if you want safer streets, you want better education, you want more opportunities, you want to be able to have businesses in your own community, then you have to deal with politics as the business of business. And if you don't know business, speak to people who know business and say, yo, this is what I want to do. Can you write this up in such a way? And here's a couple of dollars. Who do we have to pay to get this done? If you take pictures, for the photographers out there, if you take pictures, you want to get paid. Everybody don't want to get paid in sex. If you make music, you want to get paid. It doesn't matter if your stuff goes on the radio and you get a publishing check. You want to get paid from the person at the time of sale. Same thing with politicians. Anyway, those are the things I want to say about what black people don't seem to know about politics because they don't seem to know anything except, I don't know, feelings. Anyway, love each other as you love yourself. Feed the pack. Yo, like and subscribe, man. I got to get my numbers up to 1,000. I can't even monetize this. Like and subscribe, man, and check out the Dirty Folks podcast on Anchor. And man, let's get this money, man.